You've seen the price tags, maybe even laughed at them. But what's under the surface of these bikes will surprise you. Watch until the end, because the one you're ignoring might be the smartest ride you never bought. Number 7. Lifan KPX 250. Purpose-built machines don't need noise to prove their worth. They speak through performance, not volume. The KPX is one of those machines, a utilitarian workhorse shaped for riders who value reliability, resilience, and raw practicality over polished chrome. It is not interested in winning trophies or showing off at bike night. Instead, it carves its reputation on back roads and gravel, where other bikes hesitate and budgets often break. For the rider who still believes in doing things the hard way because it builds character, this dual sport contender offers a quiet kind of grit worth noticing. The KPX produces 16 horsepower from a 249 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine, along with 13.8 pound-feet of torque. It comes equipped with front and rear hydraulic disc brakes, a telescopic front fork, and a monoshock rear suspension. With a wet weight of 330 pounds and a seat height of 32.7 inches, it stands tall but remains approachable. The starting price is $2,800. It is not just about where the KPX can take you, it is about what it does not need along the way. No fragile plastics, no excessive electronics, and no overcomplication. Just a machine built to ride, ready for whatever comes. This motorcycle's defining trait is its willingness to get dirty and keep going. The high ground clearance and upright geometry make it ideal for riders who cut through fire roads or bounce between small-town errands and country trails. Even with its modest engine size, the KPX finds balance in its power delivery and weight, especially for those who appreciate a steady climb over a steep surge. It delivers a manageable, forgiving ride, particularly welcome for returning riders who prefer something familiar but not fragile. The bike's styling leans toward function, not flair. Knobby tires, spoked wheels, and a steel frame all underscore its intentions. It is built to take a beating, and riders who own one often treat it like a tool. One they know will start up, take abuse, and ask for little in return. That utilitarian reputation carries over into the ownership experience as well. Maintenance is simple, with an air-cooled engine and parts that do not require dealership-level intervention. For many, that level of mechanical independence is just as important as price or style. What the KPX lacks in sound or swagger, it makes up for in confidence. This is a motorcycle for men who do not need to talk about what they own because they are too busy using it. Whether it is navigating unpaved roads to a hunting lease or rolling quietly past old barns on Sunday, the KPX never asks for attention. It earns respect instead. From dirt-tested durability to old-school attitude, what follows proves that form without function doesn't cut it for real riders. If you've owned one of these machines or got burned by one, drop a comment below. Your experience could help another rider make the right call. And if you're liking the ride so far, hit that like button so this list keeps rolling for more riders like you. Number 6. Dongfang DF 250 RTB. There is a certain kind of motorcycle that does not need to shout to make its presence known. It stands still and lets the lines speak for themselves. For riders who remember when motorcycles were low-slung, lean, and stripped to the frame, the bobber-style design still stirs something familiar. The short rear fender, the low seat, the solo saddle, it all harks back to a time when function defined form. The RTB is not built for flash, it is built to remind you of the way motorcycles used to feel. This bike is powered by a 229 cubic centimeter air-cooled engine that produces 15 horsepower and 12.5 pound-feet of torque. It uses a hydraulic disc brake up front and a drum brake in the rear. The suspension is a basic telescopic fork in the front and dual shock absorbers at the back. With a dry weight of 284 pounds and a seat height of 26 inches, it is one of the most accessible bikes on the market. The starting price is $2,500. This bike does not chase attention, it earns it. Parked curbside or cruising small-town main streets, the RTB brings a presence that speaks to tradition. It is the kind of machine that makes strangers nod and old mechanics stop to take a closer look. The RTB is a machine for riders who want something classic without the cost of a rebuild. There are no plastic fairings, no complex electronics, and no distractions. It is a raw mechanical machine that feels honest under the throttle. The seating position is relaxed, and the bike's compact dimensions make it an easy fit in small garages or tight city corners. For those who ride alone and ride with purpose, the simplicity of the RTB feels more like a statement than a compromise. What truly defines this motorcycle is its silhouette. Long and low with blacked-out pipes and minimal bodywork, the RTB gives the impression of a bike that was built in a home garage rather than a foreign factory. It looks like something you could have built yourself, and for many owners, that is the whole appeal. It is a canvas, not just a cruiser. Riders add custom seats, different bars, and aftermarket lighting to make it their own, and the frame happily accommodates. There are certainly limits. You will not find fuel injection or digital dashboards here. It is carbureted and wired simply, which might frustrate riders expecting modern refinements. But for the mechanically inclined, that simplicity is a gift. This is a motorcycle you can understand. You can wrench it, tune it, and make it yours without needing a technician or a laptop. The RTB is not going to keep pace with larger cruisers on the interstate, but it was never meant to. It is a neighborhood ride, a backroad cruiser, and a Saturday project. It is the kind of machine you take out for the feeling, not the destination. If you thought stripped-down style meant stripped-down performance, the next machine is ready to challenge that idea on every back road in the country. Looking to pick up one of these bikes or gear up the smart way? We've linked the best deals, parts, and trusted sellers down in the description, so check it out before prices change. Number 5. TaoTao TBR7. Real respect is earned off the beaten path, through mud, dust, and the kind of work that never makes headlines. Built for riders who believe in simplicity and strength, the TBR7 fits squarely in that no-nonsense category. This is the kind of machine that shows up when you need it, takes the beating, and comes back for more. It does not dress itself up to impress. It rolls out with grit, purpose, and a firm handshake. Under the tank, the bike is powered by a 229 cubic centimeter air-cooled engine that delivers 16 horsepower and 13.5 pound-feet of torque. It features a front hydraulic disc brake and a rear mechanical drum brake. The suspension includes a standard telescopic fork up front and dual coilover shocks in the rear. With a dry weight of 285 pounds and a seat height of 34 inches, it rides tall and holds its ground. The starting price is $2,100. Every scratch on the frame and dent in the exhaust tells a story. The TBR7 is not about polish, it is about purpose. For riders who believe in earning their miles, this machine wears its scars with pride. The TBR7 was designed for dual-purpose use, meaning it is just as comfortable tearing down gravel roads as it is rolling through small-town traffic. For riders who value old-school mechanical reliability over digital clutter, it brings back a kind of freedom most modern bikes have forgotten. It starts with a kick, runs on basic parts, and keeps maintenance simple enough that you do not need a computer science degree to keep it going. That matters when you are halfway through a weekend trail ride and need to tighten up your chain or swap a spark plug. Though the frame and build may seem minimal, there is beauty in that simplicity. It offers a solid platform for riders who want a utilitarian motorcycle that can be customized, ridden hard, and left outside without fear of scratching polished paint. In fact, most owners end up modifying it, changing out lights, racks, bars, and seats to better suit their needs. It is a bike that evolves with its rider, not one that tries to define them. This motorcycle especially appeals to men who are not afraid to ride something that might not turn heads but will never let them down. It will not win a drag race, but it will climb a hill, haul your gear, and be ready again the next morning. Riders with an eye for value and a mind for self-reliance appreciate its straightforward engineering and unbreakable nature. This is a bike for those who work with their hands, respect tradition, and do not mind getting a little dirt under their fingernails. Not every motorcycle needs to be sleek or loud to be worth owning. Sometimes the best machine is the one that just keeps going. No complaints, no breakdowns, no distractions. The TBR7 fits that mold with quiet pride. Now we trade bare-bones grit for an off-road bruiser with real backbone. Engineered for work but built with freedom in mind. Number 4. CSCTT 250. True respect isn't handed out by brand. It's built mile by mile through performance that proves itself over time. For riders who still believe in steel frames, air-cooled motors, and weekend rides that go off-map, the TT is a reminder that adventure never went out of style. It is not loud, but it is loyal. Not fancy, but dependable. And when you need a machine that handles the real world better than showroom lights, it steps up without apology. Powering this dual sport is a 229 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine producing 16 horsepower and 13.5 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes a front hydraulic disc and rear disc combination. Suspension duties are handled by an inverted front fork and a heavy-duty rear monoshock. The wet weight stands at 286 pounds and the seat height measures 34 inches. The starting price is $2,400. There is something refreshing about a machine that keeps things mechanical. No screens, no sensors, no complications, just gears, fuel, and grit. The TT asks nothing but trust and gives back mile after mile of unfiltered hands-on riding experience. The TT is sold and serviced through an American distributor, giving it a distinct edge over many imported motorcycles in the same price range. Riders who choose it often value parts availability, customer support, and the comfort of knowing they can speak to a real person when something needs adjusting. This level of service is rare at the entry-level price point, but the TT delivers it without compromising the core experience. A true dual sport, ready for real work. The design does not aim to win over high-end buyers. This motorcycle is simple, tough, and purpose-built. Whether it is being used to ride trails in rural land or tackle daily commutes over patchy asphalt, the TT keeps its rider firmly in control. The torque comes in low, right where it is needed most, and the lightweight body means even tight switchbacks or soft ground can be handled with confidence. Those who ride the TT often describe it as honest. There is no pretense in the lines, no flair in the features. The gauges are clear, the controls are basic, and everything that needs to be serviced is within reach. That approach gives riders the power to maintain their own machines, which matters when you are 2 hours outside of town and need to rely on what you brought with you. The TT also has something else most dual sport motorcycles in its class lack: an American presence. With warehousing and support based in California, this machine benefits from domestic backing. Riders appreciate knowing their investment is supported and that service does not require navigating overseas websites or customs paperwork. That kind of stability, especially in a world of fast-fading brands, offers real value. So whether you are outfitting for a hunting season, running backroad errands, or looking for something you can haul without worrying about scratches and dents, the TT stands its ground. It is not built for posing, it is built for moving, climbing, hauling, and coming back in one piece. Leave the toolbox behind. The next ride blends simplicity with readiness, and it doesn't need a logo to prove itself. Number 3. Zongshen RX 3 Cyclone. Adventure motorcycles usually come with a price tag that makes most riders turn the other way. But there is one machine that has quietly earned a place in tool sheds and garages across the country. Not because of its brand, but because of its surprising grit. The Cyclone is built for riders who still believe that a long road, a packed bag, and a reliable motor are all you need to disappear for the weekend. It trades prestige for practicality and proves that you do not need to empty your retirement fund to own something capable. This motorcycle is powered by a 249 cubic centimeter single-cylinder engine that delivers 25 horsepower and 17.5 pound-feet of torque. It features hydraulic disc brakes front and rear, an inverted front fork, and a rear monoshock suspension. The wet weight is 385 pounds, and the seat height is 31 inches. The starting price is $4,500. Every ride on the Cyclone feels deliberate. It is a machine built for movement, not for showrooms. Riders who value purpose over polish will appreciate how it performs. Quietly, confidently, and always ready to chase the next open stretch. The Cyclone was designed to go places that most budget motorcycles cannot. It comes standard with full-body fairings, side panniers, and even a top box. For many riders, that means fewer upgrades and a faster path to long-distance touring. But even stripped of its accessories, this motorcycle stands tall as a genuine adventure-ready machine. It feels planted at highway speeds, responds well to twisty back roads, and still manages to crawl over gravel and rough shoulders without hesitation. Where this bike truly stands out is in its balance. It is not too tall, not too heavy, and not too aggressive. That makes it a good fit for riders who are coming back to motorcycling after time away, or those who want a second bike that can take a beating without guilt. The engine revs smoothly and remains predictable through the throttle, while the seating position supports long hours without grinding down your lower back. It does not pretend to be a Dakar racer. It is honest, capable, and built to last. For men who appreciate tools that do not break under pressure, the Cyclone feels like a cordless drill that never quits. There is no mystery under the tank, no complicated systems that require dealer service. Just an engine, a frame, and all the necessary parts to go farther than you thought possible. It is this mechanical confidence that earns it a following among riders who have spent more time fixing motorcycles than polishing them. The finish is rugged, the lines are purposeful, and the ride feels like something from a higher price point. While some may question the country of origin, few who own one will question the performance. And with a growing parts network and stateside support, it is no longer the mystery bike it once was. For the practical adventurer, this is the rare machine that actually delivers more than it promises. Pack your gear and check your mirrors. The next motorcycle puts long-distance dreams within reach for the everyday rider. Number 2. Lifan V 16S. There's a certain kind of bike that looks right at home parked along Main Street, low, long, and built to be noticed. The silhouette, the stance, and the low stretched-out frame give off a presence that demands a second look. For riders who still value the classic cruiser form, thick bars, deep fenders, and a comfortable reach to the ground, the V16S delivers more than you would expect from its badge. It is not about chasing trends or breaking lap times. It is about style, ease, and the kind of ride that makes a man slow down and enjoy the road again. Beneath the tank, this cruiser runs on a 250 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, putting out 17 horsepower and 13.9 pound-feet of torque. It comes with a front and rear hydraulic disc braking system, a telescopic front fork, and dual rear shock absorbers. The wet weight is 354 pounds with a seat height of 26.8 inches. The starting price is $3,200. The V16S does more than echo classic cruiser styling. It honors it. Every inch feels intentional, from the low seat to the sculpted tank. It is a reminder that timeless design still matters, especially when built for real roads. The V16S is clearly built with the American cruiser in mind. Everything about it, from the relaxed ergonomics to the wide saddle, invites you to settle in and enjoy the scenery. The low seat height makes it ideal for riders who want to flat foot at every stoplight, while the wide handlebars and mid-mounted controls create a neutral riding posture that stays comfortable for hours. There is a simplicity in this bike's setup that feels refreshing in an age of overcomplication. It is a machine designed to resemble bigger cruisers, but it does not try to copy every detail. The lines are clean and modern, and the matte finishes lend it a sense of maturity that belies its entry-level roots. For men who have owned heavier machines in the past and are looking to downsize without giving up comfort or confidence, the V16S offers a welcome balance. It may not thunder like a 114, but it rumbles with enough low-end tone to remind you that you are still riding a real V-twin. The performance is steady and predictable. It is not built for speed, it is built for cruising, and it does that well. The power delivery is smooth, which makes it an excellent fit for riders coming off larger touring bikes or returning to motorcycling after a few years away. It holds the line in corners, handles city traffic with ease, and feels planted on longer country stretches. There is just enough torque to make the ride engaging without requiring constant gear changes or heavy wrist input. This is the kind of motorcycle that you buy not for the thrill, but for the comfort. For the peace of mind that comes from knowing your machine will start, ride well, and not ask for much more than routine upkeep. It is also a bike that turns heads, not because of the brand, but because of the presence. It looks like more than it costs, and in the cruiser world, that still matters. Cruiser spirit is alive and well, and the next bike on this list wears it with a confidence that feels anything but entry level. If you're the kind of rider who wants the truth, not the showroom gloss, subscribing here is worth your time. We break it down, cut the hype, and show you what matters before you spend $1. Subscribe now. Your next ride might depend on it. Number 1. Lifan KPR 200. Every so often a motorcycle comes along that does not just meet expectations, it rewrites them. The KPR is one of those rare machines. Built with discipline and purpose, it delivers a balance of style, performance, and dependability that earns respect from even the most seasoned riders. For men who understand the value of keeping things simple without cutting corners, this lightweight street machine represents a new kind of practicality, one that does not ask for much but gives back more than expected. The powertrain consists of a 202 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine that produces 17 horsepower and 16.5 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes a front hydraulic disc and a rear hydraulic disc. It rides on a telescopic front fork and rear monoshock suspension setup. The wet weight is 330 pounds, and the seat height comes in at 30 inches. The starting price is $2,800. Every part of the KPR feels like it was built with intention. It is not chasing luxury. It is delivering capability. For riders who measure value by time on the road, this machine earns its place mile after mile. From a distance, the KPR carries a sport touring silhouette with full fairings, a tucked stance, and sharp angles. Up close, the details reflect a design meant for real-world use: simple controls, a clear digital dash, and a riding posture that leans forward just enough to stay aggressive without tiring your back. While many bikes in this category try to imitate larger supersports, the KPR carves out its own lane, designed not to chase horsepower but to deliver consistency, efficiency, and comfort on every mile. The engine delivers its torque low in the rev range, giving riders confidence in city traffic and smoothness on the open road. The lightweight frame helps with handling, especially for those who value tight cornering and stable braking. What makes this machine stand out is how composed it feels even when pushed near its limits. Riders transitioning from cruisers or heavier machines will appreciate its light touch and nimble response without sacrificing control or road feel. It is also a motorcycle that surprises even the skeptics. The mechanical reliability, ease of ownership, and quality fit and finish are not what most expect from a small displacement import. But those who ride the KPR quickly learn that this machine has nothing to prove. It runs clean, starts every time, and handles maintenance with a simplicity that makes it ideal for garage wrenches and weekend riders alike. For the older rider looking to downsize without downgrading, the KPR fits a unique space. It is not just for beginners. It is a compact tool for serious motorcycling, made to commute during the week, stretch its legs on Saturdays, and still turn heads at the fuel station. With its road presence, efficient engine, and balanced construction, it earns its spot at the top not by pretending to be something else, but by being excellent at exactly what it is. You've just seen the bikes most riders overlook, and now you know which ones deserve a second look. If you found something here that made you think twice, don't just scroll away. Hit subscribe, share this with a fellow rider, and join the kind of garage talk that actually matters. Around here, we ride smarter, not just louder. More honest breakdowns are coming and you won't want to miss the next one. Until then, ride safe, ride sharp, and stay in the saddle.